Mormons who own a liquor line. How does that work? Her husband was accused of killing his ex-wife to steal her money. Y'all won't believe how that ended. Courtney Cox and Rihanna have worn this woman's jewelry. Hey reality reporters, I know that you all have been amped for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City ever since Bravo announced it at BravoCon in like mid-November. Remember how Andy described this as an exclusive community of people living in their own universe? Sounds pretty interesting, right? Well, I did some digging on this potential cast and I can confirm that this is gonna be good, okay? Scandalous, juicy, I can already see who's not gonna like each other. I am talking Real Housewives of New York City level awesome, okay? That's my prediction. I have another one, hold tight for that, but these women are already causing a major splash. Page 6 caught them partying and filming at the Sundance Film Festival at a Lil Jon concert where they were hanging out in VIP, front row, at a table, dancing their booties off. Not only that, but they were hanging out with bona fide Bravo celebrities Lala Kent and Katie Maloney. That's right, just last week, the Housewives of Salt Lake City were filming at a boutique with Lala and Katie in Utah. Both of those ladies are natives of Utah, and here comes my big prediction, guys, okay? Remember when Vanderpump Rules kicked off, they used Sheena and Brandy and that whole mess to kind of guide you from the end of Beverly Hills Housewives, and all of a sudden you were just watching Vanderpump Rules?
Oh, you're the girl that had sex with my husband.
Brandy, I kind of used to date her husband.
Yeah, it worked really, really well, obviously. And my prediction is that they're gonna be doing the exact same thing once again. I think you're just gonna be watching Vanderpump Rules and all of a sudden it's gonna roll into the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And we will be watching, of course. Now, we don't know all the details about this show, but we do have names of all the potential cast members. And I'm about to give you the scoop on every single one of these ladies. Everything I could find, I dug through old interviews about their businesses and social media and public records and everything and anything that I could find to give you the scoop on the potential Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We don't know who is going to be a full-time housewife yet or a friend of, but I have a pretty good guess on who's gonna be the star. Meet 45-year-old Lisa Barlow. She was raised in New York and currently splits her time between SLC and Park City. She was raised in a Jewish family but has converted to Mormonism and calls herself a serial entrepreneur. This woman is giving me major LVP vibes. She formerly owned an upscale restaurant and owns her own liquor line. Yeah, that's very LVP. It's called Vida Tequila, and apparently being tequila connoisseurs and Mormons isn't a problem for them. Lisa also launched her own marketing company long ago when her son was just an infant. She reps huge stars like Nikki and Brie Bella's beauty product line. This woman is hobnobbing with some major celebs already. Her partner in business and in life is hubby John. The two both went to BYU. That's Brigham Young University, kind of a big deal in this circle. The couple's been together since 2003 and have two sons, 15-year-old Jack and 7-year-old Henry. Aww. Lisa wrote an article a few months ago on Thrive.com about mom guilt. So it's clear she has a bit of a hard time juggling mommy time and being a businesswoman. Lisa says she's working on finding more me time, which she'll use to ride horses, and she loves fashion as well. So there's our Queen Bee LVP type. But I'm not really sure who to compare this next potential housewife to. This is Mary Cosby. There were rumors that she joined the cast a while ago, but then those died down. However, she was spotted filming with the other ladies recently at one of their birthday parties and on a ski day. She's also been spotted filming at her church. More on that in a sec. Mary has a perfume line coming out and describes herself as an event specialist and philanthropist. Okay. She's also the first lady of Faith Temple Pentecostal Church. Mary's hubby is the bishop of the church, Robert Cosby, who's found himself in the headlines before. So Robert's first wife, who he married back when he was only 22 years old, he married Rosemary, who was in her 40s. Rosemary started the church, and when she passed away in 1997, her daughter accused Robert of being involved in her death and for things like forging her signature to take over her businesses, some really gnarly stuff. In the year 2000, Rosemary's body was exhumed, further examined, and it was determined that she passed away from heart failure. Her daughter continued to insist that Rosemary had been in good health, her heart was good, and that Robert must have been involved in her death. 48-year-old Meredith Marks studied the fine arts and worked as a model in her past. She's got 2 degrees from Northwestern, including a law degree. She is now a jewelry designer, a favorite of Rihanna, Charlize Theron, Courtney Cox. Holy crap, those are huge names. And you can even get her pieces at Neiman Marcus. So she launched the line in 2009 during the recession. Badass, wow. And she now has a store on Main Street in Park City. So she says she moved to Park City 6 years ago from Chicago to open the store. However, it seems like she spends a lot more time in Chicago, as that is where her husband actually works. More on that in a second, but Meredith used to work in real estate development and owned a health club before becoming a wife and mother. But get this, when working in real estate, this woman was robbed on the street, like terrifying, Cher Horowitz style robbed. That's when she knew it was time to get out of the business and when she started doing her jewelry line. Meredith describes herself as a world traveler and working mom. She's got 3 kids, including Brooks, who is an influencer with a clothing line. Wow. Chloe and Reed, and her CEO hubby Seth, who I mentioned before, he seems to live and work in Chicago. So there's been some speculation that maybe the couple isn't together anymore because her hubby works in Chicago and she has the store in Salt Lake City, but I'm thinking she spends a lot more time in Chicago than they're gonna let on camera for Real Housewives. So many entrepreneur badass boss women in this bunch, I like it. Here's another one. 31-year-old Whitney Rose founded a natural anti-aging skincare line in January of 2017. It's called Iris & Beau. Here's where it gets very interesting. Whitney is married to Justin Rose, the chief sales officer of a very controversial Mormon MLM company. It's called Life Vantage. They promise that they help people reach their health and wellness goals. Not only that, but Whitney herself has also worked for MLM companies. Scandalous. If all goes as planned, we will see Whitney and Justin renew their vows for their 10-year anniversary on the show, which apparently has already been filmed, but you never know what ends up on the cutting floor. Justin is almost 20 years older than Whitney, and it looks like he has 3 kids from before that are just a few years younger than Whitney herself. These two give me major Megan and Jim Edmonds vibes, and we all know how that turned out. But this next RH of SLC seems like a Teresa Giudice type. 46-year-old Jen Shah lives in the Salt Lake City suburbs. Jen's husband is a University of Utah football coach who himself suffered a career-ending neck injury while playing at the University of Utah. They also have 2 sons, one of whom played on the team as well, so this is clearly a football fam. We can expect Jen to be a very good reality star. She already had her quote-unquote cousin leak, as in she put out there that she has a sharp tongue, you know, watch out for her. She's the owner of an up-and-coming marketing agency and refers to herself as a serial entrepreneur. Sounds familiar, as in exactly like the Lisa who I told you about a little while ago. So are these two gonna be competitive? Are they gonna butt heads? Now here's how she is just as fabulous as Teresa Giudice, okay? Jen recently traveled from Salt Lake City all the way to the Bronx just to get her nails done. Sounds like a bona fide Real Housewife. Jen is clearly sassy and very beautiful, but next up is a certified step MILF. Sara McArthur-Pierce looks to be quite a bit younger than the rest of the ladies. She's a life coach with an unbelievable body who says that her journey has shaped her into the strong, resilient woman she always aspired to be. Wow, that's very sweet. She's also a proud mental health advocate, and her website looks like she's kind of just starting out in that realm, shall we say. Sara got married last July to her hubby, who looks to be much older. And while Sara calls herself a mother of 6, from all my digging, it seems like those 6 kids are her hubby's bios, and she's a stepmom. So Sara maybe not bringing the juiciest storyline potential, but they can't all be the stars. Next up are some that may be friends of the housewives. Angie Harrington is a Utah native. She grew up there and was a jazz dancer. That's a basketball team, or so people tell me. She's now an influencer for fashion, travel, and mom life. Angie is a new mom, having an infant son with her hubby, who's a CEO of a software company, but he's not her first. So here's a big celeb connection. Sara used to be married to Brett and has 2 kids with him. He was a quarterback for Brigham Young University, which we talked about a little while ago, and his dad is a big-time music industry executive. So this would be Angie's ex-father-in-law. He managed the Osmonds and Larry King, who also was married to Angie's ex-sister-in-law, Sean. So like the ex-father-in-law's daughter married his client, and they're all huge celebrities. Very juicy. Here's another housewife hopeful who we're not sure is gonna be full-time or just a friend of. 45-year-old Heather Gay lives by the philosophy, life is short, by the lips. Will that be her tagline? It's perfect. It is the philosophy at the med spa she founded, Beauty Lab and Laser. Heather also co-hosts a podcast called Live Love Lab with her Beauty Lab and Laser co-founder. They talk about beauty secrets from the medical industry and being a woman in business. Sounds pretty cool. I think I'll have to subscribe. Heather has a daughter that's like 17 or 18 and her hubby's name is Frank, but that's all we have on Heather thus far. There's another woman named Connie who may be in this mix who reportedly connected Heather and Sara. She's also the owner of something called Extra Hair Extensions, so I'm sure all the ladies want to know her. Another entrepreneur, wow! These women are more than your stereotypical housewives for sure. Do you have a favorite yet? I'm still thinking about it, but there is plenty of time to get to know these women. If my theory is correct and they do roll over from Vanderpump Rules, those guys are just a few episodes into their season and they usually get like 22, 24 episodes. So by my calculations, that would put the RHSLC premiere sometime in June. If Bravo makes any official announcements, I will definitely let you know. Make sure you are subscribed by hitting the big red button. And you can always follow me at Christy Reports. Reach out to me. Let me know what you think of the brand new Housewives. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.